The island of Guernsey is a small place to live. We have a population of about 62,000. So as the only FE provider, we do the full range, exactly what you would see in an FE college in the UK. As a learning organisation, we're here for education. It's really important that we're always learning. We didn't necessarily have a problem, but we wanted to keep improving. And there's such a wealth of research that talked about observation not really being effective as a tool to improve teaching and learning. And so we took stock of the evidence out there and made a bold decision that we weren't going to do observations in the traditional way, but we were going to try something else to support our practitioners developing their practice. We got them to review themselves against the professional standards, and that's really where the One Thing started.
The One Thing is our professional development cycle. It's entirely teacher-led. At the start of the academic year, our teachers reflect on the year that's passed. They self-assess against the professional standards and start thinking about what they'd like to focus on for the coming academic year in terms of their own professional development. Then, when they're ready, they are paired with a teaching and learning peer who talks to them about their one thing and helps them develop. And the way that might happen is through a professional discussion or a lesson observation.
As a teaching and learning peer, I think this is such a valuable exercise within college. It's been given the chance to lecturers to enable them to look further into their teaching methods and processes.
I wanted to look at plenaries and sort of sat back and kind of did some research, went back to what the basic purpose of them are, and realised actually I was doing plenaries in every session because whenever I rehearsed, I'd always run what I'd done. And that was a plenary, I just never called it it.
Our lesson observations are entirely about professional development. They are not about performance management. And the beauty of that is teachers can experiment without the fear or the burden of getting a judgment.
And they were able to reflect back without attitude or opinion what I was saying, and they were clarifying my ideas.
When we do our teacher training, we're well aware of the professional standards, and although they're in the background all the time, sometimes they're not come to the forefront for people. So this is a process that allows them to revisit the professional standards and remind actually the basis to what the teaching process is about.
The professional standards helped me to identify the need of understanding assessment of learning, especially, and asking my students, being able to check in with my students that learning had taken place.
One of the most exciting developments that I've seen over the past 18 months has been teachers taking ownership of their professional development. They've not been afraid to experiment, they've tried things out in their classroom which they previously would not have done. They're reading, they're doing evidence-informed practice, and it's really exciting.
It makes you want to look at your own practice and improve. Nobody's telling you to improve, it's not dictatorial, it's very self-led, and that has been a really great thing for me to move on to want to do my QTLS, to be able to do maybe to do an MA, and it's sort of reignited that passion for learning myself.
If I think about the professional standards, one of the most important aspects that I can see shifting is the values aspect of the standards. And by us as an organisation and by the leadership team enabling this approach, it's highlighting to our colleagues that teaching and learning is our first priority in support of our students, and that it's okay to try things out, it's okay to look at the research, and it's really okay to talk about pedagogy in the course of your everyday work.